Hey there, my name's Drew Brashler, and in this video, I want to talk about using Smaart, TRACT from Waves, and the Waves LV1 to make your system tuning the fastest that you've ever done a system tuning. Now, if you're brand new to my channel, I'm all about helping you feel more confident with your production gear no matter where you're starting from. Also, if you're looking for a few more audio tips and tricks, head over to my newsletter for free at audiotoolkit.co, where I will send you some of my favorite tips and tricks to your inbox every week, absolutely for free. But let's actually go ahead and dive in and see what this thing is all about. Now, if you're like me, I always use Smaart when I'm doing a system tuning. Even if I am doing a system tuning with a P1 and M1 from LV1 Acoustics, I'm still going to verify it if I have the time. Now, for all of you who are just walking in with your console and someone else has tuned the system and you only have an hour for sound check, then having TRACT plus Smaart on your LV1 or your mixer with SoundGrid can make your system tuning go so incredibly fast. The first time I used this, I was just blown away with how quickly I was able to get the tune that I was looking for with a minimal amount of measurements. And obviously, if you have the time, spending more time to make more measurements and average all of the measurements together is always a good thing. But for those of you who are strapped on that time, then we kind of either have to just go with what we have or do it by ear, which sometimes you might have a cold and maybe your ears aren't acting up in the way that they should. And so using Smaart and using this TRACT plugin will help you get the fastest system tuning that you have ever done. So for this video, this is not going to be an intro to using Smaart. You will need to know how to use Smaart, set up an audio interface, get a Smaart reference into your device, plus a measurement mic. So that will be a different video that I will release a while later from now. But in this video, I want to show you how to set up Smaart with the API on the network with your LV1 and get Smaart working with this TRACT plugin. So a brief overview before we dive in. I have Smaart running on my MacBook. I have an RUIO 16 from Yamaha as my main audio interface. So I have a Smaart output coming out of my console. Here we can see on Matrix 7, and that is going into one side of my audio interface. The other one is my handy dandy RTA mic that is going into the other side. And I have created a transfer function, as we can see here. So my measurement mic is right here on the measurement, and then I have Smaart reference coming from my console going into my reference side. My signal generator is using my sound wire out of my computer going straight into the back of my console here, which we have right here as my iTunes input. I have bypassed all of my plugins here and it's completely flat. So if we were to start up my transfer function measurement and turn on my signal generator, we would now see some info coming in. And we can go ahead and calculate my time delay, and that's perfect. So we can see that this speaker is putting out sound for this microphone, and our measurements are happy. So the next thing that we need to do is we want to get our network going between our computer and the Waves LV1. Now, with Smaart, you do not want to be having this data going over the SoundGrid network. You shouldn't have anything sharing with the SoundGrid network. There is a dedicated port on the back of the Waves LV1, which is orange, reddish color, and that is the dedicated port that we want to use for our Smaart network with LV1 to Smaart and back and forth. So I have my computer going to a network switch. That network switch is then connected into the back of the LV1 on that dedicated port. Now, if we go over into options and drop down into preferences, we would go to API and we would start our API server. And so we just click enabled. We set the port that we want to have. This will display our IP address, and then we can set a password if we want to. This is a closed network, so I don't need to worry about a password as I'm the only person that's accessing this network. Once this is done, then we want to go insert a TRACT plugin on the output that we want to have it on. So I'm going to go to my outputs. On my Matrix 1, I have my main left, right, and I have inserted the TRACT plugin. Now, there are two versions of this plugin. So if we go into our EQ and go to TRACT, there is TRACT, and then there is TRACT Linear phase. TRACT is the lowest latency version, and we can see that there is 7 samples of latency happening with this plugin. If we drop into our plugin list and go over to TRACT linear phase, it's going to have 519 samples of latency. Now, I am running my console at 48 kilohertz, so we could calculate that out if we want to. The difference between the two of them is linear phase will calculate all of the EQ parameters and have the phase be linear on the output of the channel. Now, this will have the least amount of phase shift when we are listening to it. The downside is we're adding a little bit of latency. Now, for most front of house setups, this is still going to be completely fine, as the latency that's applied via this plugin isn't enough to make a huge difference. Now, I wouldn't want to use the linear TRACT plugin for, say, a monitor wedge, because we're adding a little bit of latency and we want those monitor situations to be the least amount of latency possible. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this with the TRACT non-linear phase. And the nonlinear phase just means if we're applying EQ, it's going to apply the EQ in a normal way rather than delaying to make sure that all the phase is hitting us at the same time with all the frequencies in time with each other. Once we have this on our channel that we want to be measuring and applying this EQ on, what we need to do is we need to go up into the gear icon and we want to set this IP address to be our IP address of Smaart on my computer, which is 10.0.10.118. So I'm going to go click into here and enter this. So 10.0.10.118. And then we want to set the port number. So the port number is 2600. Sorry, 26,000. And once we've done this, we can go ahead and press connect. Now, this will then reach out to your computer with the API and go ahead and connect that. And we can now see up here that Smaart is connected. Now, there are a few parameters to this plugin that we want to get accustomed to. First off, this little red arrow is where we want to have our Smaart actually applying this measurement to, which I'll show you here in a little bit. And then we have the high pass function of that as well. Now, down here on measurement, this is where we want to click down in and select the measurement that we want to be measuring from. Now, I've only made one transfer function measurement inside of Smaart with my single microphone and my single reference. So we can go down into transfer and I can go ahead and select my TF1, which is my transfer function measurement that I have set up here. Once I've done that, I can press play and then I can actually press generate on my Smaart. And so at this point, I am now reading the data that's coming from Smaart into the console, and it's displaying here on my graph. So if I move this microphone and I press track, it's going to be calculating my delay as far as me moving this microphone, and it's going to be showing me any of my measurements that I'm taking. So I'm going to go ahead and place my measurement microphone in a good position. And I can then just make sure that my delay is tracking, and then I can press capture. And we can see that that has captured right up here on 1. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to move my microphone to another spot and take another measurement. So we will see that a little bit of delay has been added. There we go. And I can go ahead and press capture again. Now let's go ahead and take one more measurement. And this time I'm going to go a little bit higher. There we go. And so we can track the delay and I can press capture. And then just for fun, I'm going to take one more measurement down here. Track the delay, capture. At this point, I can go ahead and turn off my generator. Now, I would want to take as many measurements as I want to. At this point, I would be taking 7 measurements if I was tuning a full PA. And you can have a friend just run around your microphone, or you can run out, move your microphone, run back to front of house, track, and then capture that. Once you've captured the amount of measurements that you want to, we can actually merge all of those measurements together. So I have all of these measurements here. So I'm going to select all of them. And then if I want to, if I have a measurement that was very out of the case, we can see that this red down here was a pretty bad measurement. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find that measurement, which is right here, and I can just exclude that from my merge. And so once I have the measurements that I have and I'm happy with them, I can go ahead and press merge. And then that will create a merged version of that right here on 5. Now this is my measurement that I have made with all of my measurements averaged together in this one measurement. Now what I can do is I can go to my captures and I can go select my capture 5. Once I do that, I can then press FIR, and this will then apply an EQ curve to counter what this measurement was. And so we can see this yellow curve is right here. And that yellow curve is showing us the applied EQ that Smaart is calculating for this specific output to match what you're trying to do inside of TRACT. So this would make this a flat measurement. And so then this is where these EQ adjustments come into. So say I wasn't wanting to have this big boost here, what I can do is I can move this down so it's not including that, just like that. And then on the low side, if I had this all the way down here, TRACT would try to put in a 12 dB boost in where this speaker isn't actually giving any information. So I don't want to do that because this little tiny speaker over here can't really produce 32 Hertz. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this to the point where I'm happy with the amount of EQ curve adjustment, which is going to be about right there. Now at this point, I can go ahead and play some music into my speaker and listen to this. So we can go ahead and head over to iTunes here and play a little bit of Patrick. And if I turn on and off this filter, I can listen to the difference. Now, say I want to have an EQ curve that's not just flat. Well, I have the ability of picking between a couple different references. So in the top up here, I have reference. And so currently, by default, it's on flat. Now, there's also a 6 dB LF boost, a 9 dB LF boost, and then an X curve that's installed by default. So if I wanted to add a little bit more low end, all I would have to do is go select the 6 dB LF boost here, and we can see that this magenta line that's here is adding a little bit of EQ that then this yellow line, which is the actual EQ that's being applied to this output, is tracking. So if I go swap between flat and 6 dB and even 9 dB, we can see that difference. Now, say you want to make a custom curve. Well, we can definitely do that. So if we go in and flatten this out and turn my FIR off, what we can do is we can actually utilize the IIR, which is 8 additional bands of EQ that we can go and apply to our output. So say you have this FIR and we actually didn't want to have this boost that's happening right here at 1K. Well, I could go in and add in a bell at 1K. We can turn it on and we can apply this and change our Q so that it's just narrowing that just a little bit, like so. That's one great thing about the IIRs, but we can actually utilize this to create a custom curve. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this. And on my 1, I am going to add a shelf. And this is going to be a low shelf. And I'm going to set this down to about 100 Hertz. And let's go ahead and add in some gain here, turn this on. And there we go. Let's flatten out this Q just a little bit. Okay, so maybe I don't want to have all of this frequency down here And so what we can do is we can go to 2, and I can go ahead and add in a cut down here. So let's go ahead and turn this on. And I can go ahead and add in a 48 dB per octave or a 24 dB per octave. And I could go ahead and get that in. And maybe my high end, I don't like to have all of this high end being so bright. I am actually one of those people that I like to roll off some of my high end so that my mixes aren't so aggressively bright in a PA. So I'm going to go grab 8, and I am going to make a shelf, and we're going to turn this on, and we can go ahead and give this some reduction here. Change this to a high shelf, and flatten out this curve, just like that. So maybe this is the EQ curve that you want to have always on your outputs. Maybe you want to have a little bit more low end. There we go. So maybe this is an EQ curve that you want to have. Well, what we can do is we can actually go save this. So we can press save, and then we can save from IIR. And we can name this. So we will just call this dB special. And there we go. So now that we have this, I'm going to flatten out this EQ curve. And I'm going to go find my dB special. And now when we add our FIR, we are applying the EQ curve that we just created using our IIRs. And so now I have this sound. And again, maybe I want to cut out this area that's happening right here. Maybe I don't want to have that huge boost happening right there. So let's go ahead and grab our band 6 and go right there. We'll adjust this width down and make this a bell shape. There we go. And maybe I didn't want this thing happening right there. So we can go grab our 5 and do the same thing. Bell shape. Make this a little bit narrower. Turn her on. Just like that. Now, the other function of TRACT is that we have the ability of delaying on this plugin as well. So down here on the bottom right-hand corner, we have this delay area, which I can go in and type in a delay of milliseconds, or I can even go feet or meters if I wanted to. Now, again, for those of you who have a short amount of time for your band rehearsal or sound check, and you want to have your familiar EQ, but are relying on the house person to do the system tuning, and all you're doing is just coming in, setting up your console, getting a quick sound check in, then using TRACT and Smaart is going to be the fastest way that you can get a very good EQ done very quickly. So this is now one of my favorite ways of using the LV1 with TRACT and Smaart for getting that ideal system curve that I'm looking for out of my PA. Now, I hope this video was helpful for you today. If you do happen to have any questions, or there's a video that you're hoping that I would make on Smaart or the Waves LV1, please post that in the comment section down below, as I'm always reading through those comments to find videos that are going to be helpful for you. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my website at drewbrashler.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.